All right, everybody out there in the bike community or getting into the bike community, we are with Tyler Keuning from Grand Rapids Bicycle Company. And believe it or not, he is in his van right now and still carved out some time to check. Oh, sorry. I just said, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. We left at 2 o'clock this morning, and so we've been on the road for 12 and a half hours, and we should be to Salida by 10 o'clock tonight.
Oh, I'm so jealous. That is awesome. We were down there a few years back, and I actually just posted a video of our trip down there. And I was just telling my wife that was one of our favorite trips. I love that area.
Yeah, awesome place to vacation, and lots of good riding and good weather.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, we wanted to catch up and this whole COVID thing going on with bike shops and inventory and all this craziness. And I thought, hey, what better person to kind of check in with to kind of give the scope of what's going on. Tell us about bike inventory, how we're coping with it, and what to expect next few months.
Yeah, so obviously when we opened back up at the end of April, it kind of went crazy. Our $500, $600 stuff over the next couple of weeks, moving up in price, all the way to the point of pretty much everything under $2,000 is sold out right now, at least at our shop. And it's not because we don't sell, entry level bikes. It's just we can't get them. So basically, all the brands sold out of all their 2020 models, and we're just waiting now for 2021 models to come in. It's not really that they're any later than normal. It's just normally we can reorder bikes. And this year we weren't able to do that because they all sold out.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like even the used market's crazy. I mean, and everything recreational. I mean, RV places, any paddle boards, kayaks, anything out there I've heard is next to impossible to get right now.
Yeah, and so along with that, a lot more people are outside using things, and that's caused a major backlog in repair. Usually, we have one spot during the spring where our shop might get up to like 2.5 to 3 weeks out. But really, since we opened back up in April, our Ada and Fulton location have been 3+ weeks out the whole summer. And then the East Paris location's been about 2 weeks, give or take, out. So we are just, we're seeing a lot of people that maybe would have come and bought new bikes, but because there's no bikes to buy, they're bringing their 20-year-old bike, trying to breathe some new life into it. They're all sold out. So we have a lot of bikes that sitting, waiting. Created a whole. We're definitely trying to do our best to get people out and enjoying their bikes. And then along with that, we're hoping to see like bikes from Cannondale, kids' bikes. We should start seeing trickle in August August and September. And then some of those more entry level, the $500 to $800 bikes, we'll start seeing 2021 models in September, in October. Normally I have a whole list of every bike that's coming in, but with the way it's been, we put a huge order together and we don't even know what we're getting out of it. So it's kind of, at this point, we don't know exactly what's coming in.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know a guy who's got a bike on order that is.
It should. I'm thinking it's going to be in next week. So, and very well that, I mean, I think you ordered that the day we closed, which was June 15th, coming up on 8 weeks here. There again, it's not that Pivot didn't have the bike in stock. They had the frame, but they were waiting on parts from SRAM.
Yeah.
So, a lot of these manufacturers are waiting on parts from SRAM and Shimano, just like we are.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of a choppiness on the video, but let's just keep going, and we'll have to edit some of it because it's a little choppy. So, but no, most of it's coming across. So, yeah, tell us about GRBC. I know that you guys are carrying some sweet brands, pretty much all the favorite brands, all the boutique brands. What are you guys carrying nowadays? I know you added something, a couple to the list this year.
Yeah, so Cannondale's kind of been our big brand out of like the big four brands out there. We've had Cannondale for a number of years, and they do everything from entry level up to high end road, mountain, gravel. They kind of do it all. Then we have Salsa. We're a big Salsa dealer. Adventure by Bike is their motto. They do a lot of like bike packing. They do full suspension mountain bikes. They do gravel really well. They've been doing gravel for a long time. Fat bikes, actually, we're going to be seeing 2021 fat bikes, I think, by the end of August. So fat bikes will actually be coming in relatively soon. And then the road that has actually picked up, road bike interest has gone way up this year, and I don't know why. So we're bringing in we've been doing Cervelo, but we just placed a nice order with Cervelo. We're starting to see a few of their bikes come in the door. They do more high-end road. We do All City and Surly on the steel side. Mitch over at our Fulton shop kills it with all the steel bikes. Mason does a fair amount of steel bikes as well. And then we do Yeti for high-end full suspension mountain and hardtail. They just came out with a hardtail this week or last week. And then Pivot as well. Kind of more your boutique high-end kind of super bikes, if you will. So we've been doing really well with both of those lines this year. So we've seen not only a huge demand for those entry-level bikes for people just getting into riding, but we've also seen a huge spike in the high end, like in that $5,000 to $10,000 range. We've really never sold nearly as many bikes as we have, and part of that is partnering with the right brands that people are looking for, but also a lot of people who maybe got into mountain biking 3-4 years ago, and now they're like, hey, I could get rid of my old bike to my buddy who wants to get into it, and I'm ready to get something better. So we've been selling a lot of full suspensions and a lot of just higher end bikes this year.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are, I mean, you carry it all, and it's like a kid in a candy store every time I go in there looking around, and it's a blast. There's all kinds of stuff to look at, and I'm one of those guys doing the upgrade, and thought I needed this e-shifting bike, and kept joking with Tyler. I'm like, can't you tell Pivot that Nino Schurter needs his bike and hurry up and get it shipped over? I got a race to do, and I joked with Tyler too. I'm like, when somebody orders a bike like that, do they wonder who it is? And he's like, no, they get those ordered all the time, so it's not that big a deal. But to me, it's a big deal. It's a pricey bike.
I'm not making you feel bad, but to a company like Yeti and Pivot, obviously they appreciate all their customers, but we definitely sell. Well, they really start around $4,700, $5,000 and up.
Yep.
Yeti's new hardtail, actually, we have one on order coming in next week. That starts at $3,600 for a full carbon bike with 1x12 SLX on it. That's a pretty cool bike. We definitely have not that your bike coming in is an abnormal bike, but we've been selling way more full suspension than hardtails,
Sure.
Which is interesting. Obviously, around us, you can ride everything. You can ride everything with a rigid 26er if you want, but it kind of, we're finding more and more people, like, it doesn't matter what they need, it's what they want, and a lot of people want a full suspension.
And I will tell you, and I can speak from probably a customer standpoint on this, or like just a consumer standpoint on this. Like, since there's no races this year, unfortunately, I'm riding my full suspension a ton, and there's no clock on me. There's no like, how fast are you doing this trail or whatever. And my full suspension is actually more fun. It's just not as fast,
Right.
So,
we're definitely seeing that shift kind of I'd say catching up to the rest of the country, less race oriented, even before like COVID, and more going to like, hey, I'm going to wear baggy shorts and go ride with the guys and not worry about what my lap time is and just have fun. But
Yep.
especially now that COVID has hit, and there's not racing and not as much, reason to necessarily be in maybe peak shape. I think more and more people are thinking, oh, I'm going to get more of a, 120, 130 trail bike instead of just focusing on an XC race bike.
Exactly. That's hitting me perfect. Like we went to we went down to West Virginia and we hit Brown County lately and all those places. And man, there's no other bike to have than full suspension. So I can totally see it, and but I'm also looking forward to the new hardtail coming. Still looking forward to that. But
It's fun to jump on a 20-pound rocket ship too.
yes, exactly. I got on my Warbird this past Tuesday, and I've been riding that 26-pound full suspension. And I was like, "Holy cow! Where'd all this extra? This is weird." I just felt like a rocket ship on the pavement. But
Yep.
anyway, so tell us a little bit about you have a side group called Grand Rapids Gravel Society, and I've been watching and it looks awesome. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I don't know how long ago now, a year and a half ago, Matt Acker and I had kind of talked about doing something like that. Brainstormed it during one of our adventure rides, and he's really busy with everything that he does. So I kind of threw it together. It was to make there was already like a Grand Rapids trail condition for mountain biking. So the idea was throw a Facebook group up there where people can post routes. It may sound kind of funny, but you can post conditions, like in the springtime when it changes over from ice to mud, and kind of share some, pictures of your experiences or adventures that you might be doing. And it kind of was one of those things that, it started slow. And I definitely I'm not super active on social media, but it's just been growing and growing. I try to post up routes on there, and things just to I posted something a couple weeks ago about a race that some of us went and did last year in Iceland. It just kind of throw questions out there like, hey, what's your bucket list race? Get people thinking, get people talking, and it's kind of a way to make our whole West Michigan community like a spot that people can come together and share hey, maybe you didn't know I went to Iceland and you saw that race. Now you can reach out to me and ask me questions about it, type of thing.
Exactly. You're bringing up.
But yeah, I think it's like over 600 people on it now. So
yeah, I just looked at that 668 or something like that, and and what you're bringing up too, is a perfect example of what's kind of happening this year too. Is we have that single track social, so we got the mountain bike thing that we just started a few months ago, and we've got 100 people doing that, and we get about 40 or so to show up on a Thursday night, and you're meeting somebody new, you're sharing experiences. I'm asking, hey, how was that ride? They're asking you how this ride was, and so I don't know. I'm finding all kinds of fun things. Trying to spin some positive on this, and it's really, I think it's making the cycling community even tighter knit, and even more together.
And I think the positive I've been seeing is a lot of us can get wrapped up in racing and just going to the race and doing a race, and now it's giving people more time to explore other avenues of having fun on a bike. I know just through Instagram, I've seen some pro racers like Payson out of Colorado. He's been doing packing. He's like, I never would have done bike packing because my whole summer's chock full of races. So things like that, more people are doing other things, not feeling maybe the pressure that they normally put on themselves to train, but maybe, like we were talking, just go out and have more fun. And I think also if we lower it down, not to the racers, but at the shop level, I've seen just an insane amount of families that were like, hey, we want to get bikes. We canceled our spring break plans. We canceled this. We got some stimulus money. We want to get some bikes and go out and ride as a family. And that's one thing that hit me during the lockdown in April. Sunday afternoons, I usually go out and ride with my wife and my son and then my parents. Like, we do a 10 to 15 mile loop through Byron Center, stop and get ice cream or something. And during that time, I've never seen so many people out on bikes in all the neighborhoods. Like, it's just crazy how many people are outside.
Yep.
So I think it's cool. Like, you have to find some positives, through some negative situations.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just wish we had more bikes to sell to people looking at, $500-$600 price range.
Right. No, same thing. Like, we were talking when some of this stuff started first happening. You're going to the bike trails, like the mountain bike trails, and you're seeing twice as many cars. And it's not like the trail fills up. There's room for twice as many.
Right.
So it's cool. It's awesome. You see people out there. You can tell that they, just got their helmet, or they're even still, you can tell they're just getting started, like we all did, and it's really cool to see. A couple of us have kind of joked and talked about, hopefully they stick with it. Hopefully all these bikes don't go for sale next year. I'd love to. Hopefully they all stick with
Right.
it. But otherwise, there's going to be a surplus of used bikes next year. Hopefully not.
Based on like industry, like everything we've heard, they're planning on a lot of growth over the next 5 years. And then kind of along with that, because we just sat down and looked at winter, trainers obviously are a big topic, and we sell Wahoo. So we just went through and put our order together for this fall. And I think we're going to see a lot of people that aren't going to have the opportunity to go to the gym, and they're going to be looking for avenues to do at home, just like they were during the summer. And with all the, as with being able to do Zwift, or, I realize some people like Trainer Road, but I'd say majority of people are doing Zwift. Basically, Zwift is a way to hook your bike trainer up, play a video game, but get exercise. So you can do races, you can just go on and do workouts, and it's a virtual. You have an iPhone or a tablet or a TV. We've talked about setups. Like, my wife and I both have a trainer with a TV next to each other, and that's always my joke. That's our date night, is we put Kate to bed and then go down in the basement and we can virtually ride our bikes together, because we're at a phase where we can't both leave because we have a 2-year-old.
It's kids.
So the trainer definitely opens the door up for, especially the off season, but even during, you see more and more people using it in the summertime for convenience sake. So I think trainers are going to be growing too. So,
yeah.
Like your sister just got one of the bikes that actually is made by Wahoo. So basically, it's an all-in-one where you don't have to have a bike. You can just, it's basically Wahoo's come back to like what a Peloton is, except I think better, but I'm biased. Because you can do Zwift with it.
Yeah. Travis is using it and loving it. Like, Renee was just talking about it today at lunch, talking about all the different parts of that thing, and he's loving it. So that's cool. That is a cool feature. So, well, awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to catch up with you. I'm so jealous that you are in your van heading down the highway, and we're stuck back here in Michigan. I can't stay stuck back here in Michigan. We gotta get to the state, but, yeah. Have fun out there, and I'll be watching your news feed, watching for some cool pictures, and have fun and keep us in the loop. What's going on?
Sounds good, and hopefully you have a new bike next week.
Yes, I'm holding you to that. No, I'm just kidding. All right, see you. Thanks, Tyler.
Yep. Have a good one, Mark. Thanks.
See ya.